So with this annual NFL career tour and being able to connect with both former players and current players and learn about their endeavors and career goals outside of their playing career and once their playing career has ended, what has been the most impactful thing that you feel that you all have been able to do as a studio?
Share information. I think that's the biggest and most vital thing that we've been able to do. We have a completely different story than most people in this space. Where I was a basketball player, my brother was a football player. At the time, my girlfriend, who's not my wife, was like just a PA in LA doing something. I'm like, oh, you working in the movie business? We didn't know. But over the course of 17 years, we went on to create our own world. And we often like to call ourselves a product of no, meaning that we were trying to make movies and everybody told us no. It was a time in Hollywood where it wasn't cool to be black and be a filmmaker. It was very hard to get anything made. Now, the world has changed a bit in terms of like content, information, moving things around, acceptance of black filmmakers making horror movies and all that good stuff. So we came at that time. And where the energy you're seeing over the last couple of years where we're sharing information about how do you make a movie, how do you distribute a movie, how do you actually go find financing for a movie, how do you develop a movie from nothing to something, that's because that's what we've been doing for 17 years. And took a long time, man, we fell out, we was dead a whole bunch of times, we lost our limbs, but then we found a way to do it and we became very successful at it. And had made a bunch of movies that have been big hit movies that have made a lot of money. But when the thing came around where people were asking, how'd you do it? We didn't mind sharing the information. We didn't mind telling people, no, man, that's not how you got to do this, then you do this, then you do this. And part of the issue we've had a very long time in our culture is people don't want to share information. People don't want to give you the tools that you need to move forward. We've always been like, no, man, let's tell it so people don't have to go through the same shit that we went through. Some people, when you look like us, you get one opportunity. And if you leverage your rent on that one thing you was trying to do, and then you lose your crib or you lose your place, you're not never trying again. So for us, it's like, man, let's try to give as much info in terms of content creation, filmmaking, television that we can. And that vacuum became sports. That world became, NFL, a lot of NBA guys. And then it became where we were educating so many guys on the athletic side around this space that it was just like a natural thing for the league to come and say, hey, can we do this where you guys educate the guys on this every year? And we're like, yeah. And then it became very successful off the field.
And with that being said, the new sports collective. Mm-hmm. How do you see that impacting, you work with the NFL, but all of the major sports and just beyond, and international sports as well?
Yeah, the sports collective was very easy to put together based on the fact that Hidden Empire, we were already making content that works at the highest level. We were already making things that is low cost, high quality production. So when you think about movies like Fatale, you're like, okay, well, they made that for under $4 million, but we also made it with two-time Academy Award winning Hilary Swank. We also made it with two-time nominated cinematographer Dante. How'd they do that, right? That's intuition, that's understanding how to put things together, that's knowing exactly what you're doing. That was very easy to take that same exact model and apply it to athletics. It was very easy to bring now Floyd Mayweather in here and say, oh man, we want to do your life. I'm going to apply everything I know to that. And oh, by the way, not only are we going to apply it to you, but we're going to also create a world where you can own and control yourself. That's very interesting to an athlete, where it's not like, oh yeah, just give me your story, give me your stuff. I'm going to shop it around town to see if somebody buy it. No, man, we're going to actually do the work first. We're going to build the story we want to tell. We're going to be in position to where if we don't want to partner, we can still take it out. And oh, by the way, they should be lucky to have your story. That's a completely different, that's a different energy than, I don't know if we can do it this time. Like, so that's what we wanted to do. So that's how the Sports Collective was built. And we wanted to focus on athletes, IP around athletes. We don't want to have nothing to do with management, agency. I don't care about none of that. I care about people coming here and being like, yo, bro, I got a really dope idea. Or I got a really great story. Or man, my mom raised me by herself and it was like this. So now we have around 19 athletes over here, NFL, NBA, boxing, and now we're segueing into Africa. We love it over there. We've been over there a bunch of times. And now we're starting to talk to athletes there that have these phenomenal stories about life and culture and things that they're doing from a passionate space. And those stories transcend. The one thing that we have in common with everything in the world right now, from Africa to Russia to London, you know, across the globe, sports. There's kids over there wearing a LeBron James jersey. There's kids wearing a Luka jersey. There's kids wearing an NFL jersey in parts of the world that we've never even been to. So each of these people now are verticals, and it's important for that athlete to know, no, bro, you transcend out of domestic waters. You work over there as well. So what is your brand saying? What are you doing? What stories do you want to tell? Doesn't matter if it doesn't capture $100 million. If it captures this, it's great because we'll just keep growing your brand. And that's what we want to do with the collective. So we launched it a couple of months ago. We have some great partners over here, and now we're into all these athletes, into sports. We're now getting into college basketball, AAU, the whole thing. And I think in a very short window, I think this thing has went from like an idea to something worth close to $100 million.
So with you all launching your sports collective and the way that the world is now, everything is digital. How do you all see yourself making a significant impact with the accessibility of being digital and being able to reach the world with just a link and having access to everybody and everybody having access to the content that you all put out?
I mean, that's the biggest gift of filmmaking, is to reach the masses, right? And the only way to do that is through digital, right? And with the NFL and the NBA all transitioning international, it's just another leg to be able to reach to those people. I think, you know, we all come from, personally, and a lot of people that I know that are in entertainment and sports come from a very tough upbringing, and most times this is the only way out, you know, whether it's playing hoop or playing football or, you know, creating your fashion line or whatever that is, that's the only way out, and you have to get as many eyeballs on your product for it to have legs. So I think, you know, with the digital piece, you can dictate your future. You can say, hey, I want to connect with this audience. I want to connect with these brands. I want to connect with these execs. And it's all about building your brand. And the more outreach you get, the more exposure you get, that's how you do that.